Right, hello again, guys, for this second talk. So now we talked about affective enhancement technologies, and so now I want to introduce this distinction on the spectrum of feeling happy. So there are 3 points on the spectrum. The first one is dystopia, which is the point of being unhappy, and then you go to middle, which is the stable point, and that is called euphemia, and here your mental states and your moods are stable. And then you go to the other way, which is hyperthemia, and in that place you are happy, you are optimistic, and you are always thriving. So there's this 3 points of distinctions in moods.
So yes, that's a good. I mean, that's great. Just to add a bit to that,
Yeah.
that's good distinction. That's perfect. So to say, I realised actually I didn't in the dialogues and then the associated perusal, I didn't really clarify this enough. But there are kind of 3 states. So dysthymia is like, people who are dysthymic. Sometimes they're academic philosophers, and they're permanent. Well, it's sort of almost always in a low mood.
Yeah.
It's like,
They don't want to do
depressing.
anything. They don't want to.
Yeah, if you're permanently down and someone says, "Come and do something fun," no, I can't do it. I mean, that's a problem.
That's the problem.
And you might find people saying, "Well, dysthymia is not fun. Let's treat it." Euthymia is sort of distinguished kind of as the normal state.
Is it more like flat?
Well, it's like sort of stable. You're not flat as in terms of flattened affect,
Yeah.
where nothing affects you. Oh, the world's about to end.
You're just reacting normal?
Yeah, well, like, but in euthymia, you have kind of like a therapeutic bias towards positive.
Oh, yeah.
So euthymic people can be really sad, but they're typically sad when bad stuff happens.
Oh, yeah. So they're not sad with no reason, but just it's that you're just sad for no reason.
Dysthymia, everything. Oh gosh, did I win that competition? Oh, well, another terrible thing just happened to me. I won. But that's a dysthymic person, otherwise known as an academic philosopher. And that's what Durkheim is signing up to be.
Yeah.
But he's probably too euthymic naturally. A euthymic person, like if a tragedy happens to you, a euthymic person is unhappy. Like if you say a tragedy happens to your loved one, the euthymic person is not saying, "Yay!" I mean, they're sad.
Yeah.
But it's characterized by a capacity to kind of bounce back. This miserable thing happened to me, and I feel bad. I lost my job. I lost my most beloved friend. But I bounce back from that.
Yeah.
And so hypothymia is also kind of defined as kind of you can be treated. It's defined as a sort of a medical condition, hypothymia. Hypothymia is a state where you're happy regardless.
Without no reason.
Yeah, this terrible thing happened. Your most beloved family member just died horrifically. Yay! Well, bad, I see bad, but I feel joyful. I mean, everything makes me feel
You're
joyful.
optimistic towards most of the stuff that's happening.
Yeah, and in a way that's also kind of inappropriate because a euthymic person, you tell them that their best friend died, they're sad, but they're not wiped out by it.
So your euthymic person knows that in some circumstances you should be sad.
Yes, and
But hyperthymic person doesn't know what.
hypothymic person is happy regardless.
Yeah.
A euthymic person is saying, gosh, sometimes terrible things happen. But so the euthymic people will have this capacity to bounce back. They're not completely destroyed.
Yeah.
And so there's a big, interesting discussion about, we haven't talked about the interventions that might produce euthymia or hypothymia.
Hyperthymia, maybe.
But the SSRI drugs are interesting cases of agents, maybe enhancement agents, we've looked at nootropics, which are pills that are supposed to increase the thinking power of your brain, and they, so the idea that sort of when SSRI medications, which most famously include Prozac, and maybe some of you have experienced, when they were first introduced in the 90s, a long time ago, they were a blockbuster drug. And
Everyone liked them, right?
Everyone liked them, yeah. It's like, because it was sort of, and there was a book by a guy called Peter Kramer that everyone loved because it said, well, basically, it's called Listening to Prozac. Why isn't everyone on Prozac? Everyone should be on Prozac because it just.
What's the reason behind that?
Well, it was like the happiness drug. It's like, oh, well, wouldn't you always choose to be happier? How happy are you now, Furkan?
I am happy 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. That's good.
But I can be 10 out of
You
10.
can be 10 out of 10. Or, let's not oversell the drug. Take the Prozac as it was understood in 1990. Now, some of you may have had experience with these drugs and say, well, that's not what an SSRI is. It's supposed to work by interacting with the serotonin serotonin neurotransmitters in your brain. But it's the idea is, well, okay, I can get you to 9. So if you're 8, which is great, I don't know if I'm 8, but if I can get you to 9, wouldn't you take a drug that would do that?
I would.
Yeah, and I guess that's
the reasoning behind it.
yes. So let's have a look at sort of some of the ideas behind that and sort of how far we should take that. Okay, did you have anything else to say?
Yes, so one of the extensions of everything should have the Prozac is a person called, was it Mark Walker?
Yes.
Mark Walker. So he studies hyperthermic people and what is going on in their brain, what kind of hormones they produce, and he wants to trigger that same effect that happens with hyperthermia people on everyone by inventing a pill.
So
or a
maybe
Prozac.
let's, because we're out of time in this one, let's start off with that.
Yeah,
In the next talk, how does that sound?
it sounds really good.
Good. Okay, let's